Andy Ruiz Jr. beats the living crap out of Anthony Joshua, drops him like, how many times was it? 4 or 5 times? And exposes him en route to a 7th round TKO victory. Ruiz becomes the unified world heavyweight champion and the first ever Mexican world heavyweight champion in history. Let's talk about it. First round starts. AJ looked a little nervous to me before the opening bell and on his walk to the ring. Was kind of cautious in the first round. I would say the first was maybe even because neither guy really did much. Second round, I thought AJ landed a few decent jabs, a few nice shots, picked up the second round. Third round comes, and this is where the action really got started. AJ caught Ruiz and dropped him for the first time in his career with a big left hook. Ruiz was shaken, but by no means was he out of it. Gets off the canvas, and AJ makes the biggest mistake of his entire boxing career. Is he doesn't take enough care to realize that Ruiz is actually not out of it. Goes flying in and starts exchanging with a man who has much faster hands than he does. It's like I said in my pre-fight video, my keys to victory. I said AJ needs to avoid exchanging with Andy Ruiz on the inside. You don't want to give this guy chances that he doesn't need to have because he has very fast hands. But AJ didn't get the memo. He went in there, started exchanging with Ruiz, hoping to get the fight over, and I do think he was anxious in there. So as soon as he dropped Ruiz, he felt like, okay, let me get it over with. I'm feeling tense, I'm feeling nervous, the energy don't feel right, let me get this fight over with. He went in there and made the worst mistake of his boxing career. Gets hurt, gets dropped, goes down, gets back up again. Andy Ruiz goes at him. AJ goes down again. AJ survived that third round by the skin of his teeth. He could have been out of there in 3. He manages to get up. For the next few rounds, AJ is just trying to get his legs back. That's all he's doing. To be fair, Andy Ruiz was also quite cautious over the next couple rounds because he had never tasted the canvas before either. He'd probably never been hit as hard as he got hit there in the AJ fight with that left hook. So he was kind of cautious too because I was wondering, why is Ruiz waiting? Like he needs to go in there. AJ's still out on his feet. He needs to attack him. But Ruiz was stalking. And, you know, in retrospect, Ruiz obviously did the right thing, showing the patience. So he was stalking. AJ really wasn't doing much, just pulling with the jab. And it has to be said, AJ once again showed very, very poor survival skills. I thought he showed poor survival skills against Dillian Whyte. He showed poor survival skills against Vladimir Klitschko. And once again here, poor survival skills. In fact, this was even worse than the Dillian Whyte fight or the Klitschko fight. When you are hurt like that, when you don't have your legs underneath you, the last thing you want to do is go headlong into exchanges with a shorter man who's got shorter arms and faster hands. You don't want to go into exchange, especially when he's already dropped you in an exchange like that. But that's exactly what AJ kept doing, inexplicably. So he didn't learn his lesson the first time in the third round. In the 6th round, it looked like AJ was getting tired. I think Andy Ruiz landed some body shots. AJ was getting tired. And he was looking, you could tell the end was coming towards the end of the 6th round. Unless AJ got some serious second wind, the end was coming. 7th round, AJ comes out, again goes in trying to hurt Andy Ruiz, engaging in exchanges foolishly, gets caught, gets hurt, dropped again, manages to get up. Ruiz goes at him again, drops him. AJ rises once more, but this time the referee calls the fight off, deeming AJ in no position to continue. I've seen some people complain about the stoppage. Hell no. The stoppage was absolutely bang on because AJ would have got himself seriously hurt if the referee hadn't stopped it at that moment. So there you have it. Upset City. This is heavyweight boxing, folks. This is what happens. This is what I've been saying for the longest. In these golden eras of heavyweight boxing, you get these monumental upsets that come out of nowhere. I've been saying this for the longest. Not that I picked this particular fight to be an upset, but I've always been saying that we are going to see upsets. We're going to see AJ lose. We're going to see Fury and Wilder lose. And at least one or two of them are going to lose to somebody who you would never imagine they would lose to. I knew Ruiz was dangerous. I said he was dangerous coming into the fight. I made video here saying that Joshua Ruiz is not going to be like Wilder Brazil. Don't expect that. This is going to be much tougher than that. And of course, let me just play this video right here.
But I do believe Anthony Joshua is going to lose in sometime over the next couple years, and that it may well not be to Wilder or Fury, but somebody else.
So that was in that video. When did I make that? 7th of January this year. And, well, you see the title of this video here. Anthony Joshua will lose before he fights Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. Listen to what I say here about golden ages in heavyweight boxing. This is what you get. You get Sonny Liston, when he lost to Muhammad Ali, that wasn't supposed to happen. When Muhammad Ali lost to Leon Spinks, that wasn't supposed to happen. When George Foreman lost to Muhammad Ali, that wasn't supposed to happen. When Lennox Lewis lost to Oliver McCall and Hasim Ratman, that weren't supposed to happen. When Michael Moorer lost to George Foreman, that weren't supposed to happen. This is what characterizes golden ages in heavyweight boxing, is you get these monumental upsets that come out of nowhere. And that's why it's an upset, because you don't expect this particular opponent to beat the guy. And that's what we got here. So am I shocked that this upset has happened? Absolutely not. Did I pick Ruiz to win? No, but I'm not shocked because I expected AJ, Wilder, Fury. I expected at least one of these guys to lose in this kind of fashion in a big upset. So, and again, let me just play this.
And this is what you will usually see in golden ages of heavyweight boxing, is you'll see upsets coming out of nowhere all the time, left, right, and center. That's what you'll see. So I do not take it as a given that Anthony Joshua is going to actually partake in an undisputed fight. At least, not in his first title reign. I don't take it as a given at all. He could lose. He could lose to somebody we least expect him to lose to. And remember, if he loses to a mandatory challenger.
Well, you heard it there. So upsets happen. Now, AJ and Eddie Hearn said that they are going to enact a rematch clause, of course, with these voluntary defenses. There's always a rematch clause involved. They said the rematch is going to be in the UK. Is AJ even ready for the rematch psychologically? Because he looked shaken before he even got in the ring. Yes, he did. He looked totally out of his element. He looked nervous. He fought in an extremely reckless way, which suggests that he was nervous and being impulsive instead of being cool, calm, and collected. Because as soon as he got Ruiz hurt or dropped him that first time, he was trying to go flying in, not thinking about what he was doing, as if he just wanted to get the fight over as quickly as possible. And even after not learning his lesson the first time, again, he went flying in. So where's AJ's head at right now? Because it wasn't in a good place, clearly. In New York City, foreign territory and all that kind of business, it can unnerve some people. And now that he's been knocked out and humiliated, because this was a humiliation that AJ suffered. This was AJ exposed. That's what this was. How is he going to react to that psychologically? Will he be able to defeat Andy Ruiz in a rematch? That's a question. Will he even elect to take the rematch? Will he think, you know what? I need to rebuild. I need to do something else. I need to fight this one or that one. And right now, the likes of Dylan White, the likes of Luis Ortiz, especially the likes of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, all of those guys missed their opportunity to be the first guy to do that to Anthony Joshua. All of them missed their opportunity. Now, it's no guarantee that they would have beaten him because styles make fights, okay? Maybe they would. I've always said, I don't know who's the best heavyweight out there. I've never come out here and said, AJ's going to destroy everybody. Hell no. I've said time and time again, I don't know who the best heavyweight is. Let them all fight each other and we'll find out. The reason why Ortiz, Wilder, etc., Tyson Fury, the reason why these guys should have taken the AJ fight sooner rather than later is not just because it's a big fight now, it's because upsets happen. AJ's now lost. The Wilder fight is nowhere near as big now. Let's say he fights Ruiz again and beats him. The Wilder fight is nowhere near as big now. AJ's market value is going to plummet after this. His reputation has been tarnished, maybe irreparably. So all those offers that Wilder was getting from DAZN, if AJ manages to get his title back, those offers are going to be a lot smaller now. If he gets his title back at all. Maybe Ruiz goes on to fight Deontay Wilder in a big unification. Al Heyman must be happy. He's brought it all back to PBC. So the PBC are winning right now. But Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz, that's not going to make Deontay Wilder the same kind of money that fighting Anthony Joshua would have made him. The $120 million offer. He should have taken it. It reminds me again of stuff that happened back in the 90s. When Lennox Lewis was going to fight Tommy Morrison. Tommy Morrison, rather than just going straight into the Lewis fight, he took a fight against Michael Bent. That was going to be, I think, Tommy Morrison's career highest payday at the time, or one of them anyway. He took on Michael Bent. He lost, and Lewis lost out on a big payday because Morrison lost. Then Lewis himself got knocked out by Oliver McCall when he was lining up the Riddick Bowe fight. So there goes the Riddick Bowe fight. Bowe should have fought him years earlier, because when Lewis lost to Oliver McCall, Bowe came out and said, I knew the guy never had any chin. I would have knocked him out. He should have taken the fight years ago and been the first guy to do that to him. All that money down the drain. Lewis also lost to Hasim Bratman, obviously. And of course, there were just so many upsets. So many upsets in the 1990s, Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson. That was in 1990. Lewis Ratman. There was just so many. I mean, of course, Lewis and Bowe were supposed to fight again. Bowe went and fought Andrew Galotta, and he was supposed to beat Galotta and then fight Lewis afterwards. But he ended up getting the crap beaten out of him twice, and then Lewis ended up fighting Galotta instead of Bowe. All right, because Bowe was pretty much finished after the Galotta fights. So you have to take your opportunity. You have to strike where the iron is hot and take these big paydays. Deontay Wilder, seriously, and Luis Ortiz, they must be kicking themselves that they didn't take the Anthony Joshua fight sooner rather than later. Because after seeing that, they're both going to be even, they probably thought, they can beat Joshua, but it's probably a tough fight. After watching that, Ortiz is probably going to be thinking, I would have starched this guy in 2 rounds. Wilder's probably thinking the same. Should have taken the fight. Should have taken the offers, especially Ortiz. Because obviously Wilder, he was offered the $40 million, but that was supposed to be after Joshua fought Ortiz. But he never got, fought Ruiz, but obviously he never got past Ruiz. But he did get offered like $15 million earlier on, or last year, whatever. He could have taken that. That would have been a nice payday. I know things are always in, hindsight is always 20/20, but you have to understand that heavyweight boxing is like this. This is what happens. So if you get an opportunity to fight someone like AJ, who was a massive cash cow, you take it. Because there is never a better time to fight someone like Anthony Joshua than when he's unbeaten. There's never a better time financially. Once he gets beat, it's not going to be the same anymore. So, we'll see. Now, to be fair, perhaps I'm underestimating Andy Ruiz's star power. Perhaps Al Heyman has now got somebody who he can turn into a box office star with Andy Ruiz, and maybe they can bring it back together, Wilder versus Ruiz in some kind of big unification. In fact, Deontay Wilder now, surely he's going to probably say, you know what, forget the Tyson Fury fight. And he might even say, forget the Luis Ortiz fight. Depending on what Anthony Joshua is going to do as far as Ruiz. If Anthony Joshua decides not to take the immediate rematch with Ruiz, then you might be able to expect Deontay Wilder to scrap the Ortiz fight, or at least scrap the Fury fight, and take on Andy Ruiz, because that's an in-house PBC fight. Should be easy enough to make. Or I don't know if they want to build it. But yeah, man, it should have been Luis Ortiz in there. He should have taken the money. He'll be kicking himself. Could have been Deontay Wilder in there too. And we'll see if AJ can bounce back. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. You know, plenty of heavyweights have suffered these kind of defeats. Lennox Lewis was knocked out twice in his career in devastating fashion. Mike Tyson destroyed by Buster Douglas. So, yeah, AJ's going to have to see if he can come back. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. There was so many flaws there from Anthony Joshua. I mean, he's always had flaws. All these heavyweights have got flaws. There were so many flaws, but it was concerning the way that this guy who just been, slapped silly kept on wanting to go in there and exchange. It's like he was just too anxious to box. Maybe he felt like he didn't have it in the tank. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he knew in his head, you know what, I can't box this guy for 12 rounds. I don't have it in the tank. I just don't feel right. I don't feel like I can go to 12 at a decent pace. I need to either knock this guy out or he's going to knock me out. Maybe that's how he felt. I don't know. But there's clearly a lot to address there. There is definitely cause to question Anthony Joshua's chin. I don't think his chin is the worst heavyweight chin I've ever seen. He's taken some good shots and, got off the canvas, but it's definitely a little dodgy. It's not David Price, but when he got hit by that left hook by Dillian Whyte, for example, that right there was like, that wasn't a particularly great shot from Dillian Whyte. I know Dillian Whyte has got a great left hook, but he had his back to the ropes. He didn't have much power on it. Wasn't that much leverage there, but AJ wobbled from that shot. So we definitely have to question AJ's chin. He showed plenty of heart, but, he showed heart before in the amateurs, in the Klitschko fight, in the Dillian Whyte fight. We know he's got heart, but the chin, that's definitely up for question. And his survival skills were non-existent. Absolutely non-existent. Terrible survival skills. Didn't know how to hold properly. Didn't know how to, just recover. And he certainly doesn't have the kind of recovery powers of a Tyson Fury, for example, or even a Deontay Wilder. Because Tyson Fury, every time he's been dropped in his career, when he got dropped by Nevin Pikage, when he got dropped by Steve Cunningham, when he got dropped by Deontay Wilder, he's able to recover very quickly. AJ is one of those guys who once he's hurt, he stays hurt for quite a long time. It takes him a while to actually get over being hurt. So that's obviously another vulnerability. Moving forward, I spoke about Klitschko. Klitschko suffered knockout defeats like this in his career against Ross Purity, against Lamont Brewster. So moving forward, AJ might have to turn into a Klitschko type fighter, which will obviously make him far less entertaining, far less watchable, but he's going to need to protect that chin. He's going to need to protect that stamina. And I've never been completely convinced by AJ's stamina. I know he paced himself against Joseph Parker and what have you, but I've always felt the stamina is maybe still a bit questionable. And I think some people are going to be questioning it again after this. But that's AJ. He's no longer champion. He has to see if he can come back. But Andy Ruiz, it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Andy Ruiz, a smiley, bubbly individual who fights with his heart on his sleeve, as honest as the day is long as a fighter, and becoming the first Mexican world heavyweight champion. He has done his country proud. He's done his family proud. And I cannot help but feel happy for Andy Ruiz. So hats off to him. And we'll see, as I say, if the rematch happens. If it doesn't, I almost feel like I hope the rematch doesn't happen for Andy Ruiz's sake. Not that he will necessarily lose the rematch. He might beat AJ again. But I just feel like it's unfortunate when fighters get bogged down. When you've just fought for a title. I know rematch clauses are standard, but it's unfortunate when you just fought for a title, you beat the champion in sensational fashion, and then you have to rematch him, right after. It's like you get bogged down with the same opponent for a prolonged period of time. Ideally, I'd like Andy Ruiz to just be able to go away and, either fight Wilder or, fight somebody else, defend his titles maybe fight Dillian Whyte, right? Dillian Whyte is going to be close to title contention for one of Ruiz's belts soon. So I understand rematch clauses are standard, but I personally would like Ruiz to, maybe get the opportunity to go and fight somebody else. Tie it up with Wilder, have the undisputed fight with him, etc. And maybe AJ go in a building process. Maybe now is the time for AJ to rematch Dylan White. Maybe he needs to go in that direction. So, and Jarrell Miller is going to be kicking himself. Why did he have to take those drugs? He could have been the guy to do that to Anthony Joshua. So, I know hindsight is 20/20, but this is why you have to learn from history, because history really does repeat itself. Yeah, this is what you get in these big heavyweight eras, man. You get you get these wild surprises that come out of nowhere when you least expect. So you have to learn that from history and strike while the iron is hot. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.
Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.